My name is Deb Van Dynen. I'm an Associate Professor of English Education at Hope College, and I have the honor of being the NEA Big Read and Little Read Lakeshore Director. The NEA Big Read Lakeshore and Little Read Lakeshore programs are month-long community-wide reading programs focused on the reading of a common book. This year, because of COVID, we've switched to a mostly virtual program. We're excited for the possibilities that this presents us as we can expand our audience's scope and reach, as well as our ability to connect with speakers and experts that are beyond our geographical reach. Thank you for joining us this year as we explore Nathaniel Philbrick's In the Heart of the Sea and Marcia Diane Arnold's Galápagos Girl, Galapagos. We hope you enjoy these events and learn lots about the book's topics and themes, as well as issues and important questions in our world today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anne Pott. I work in the Youth Services Department at Herrick District Library in Holland, Michigan. We at Herrick are thrilled to be collaborating again this year with the Big Read Lakeshore and Little Read Lakeshore, and today I am here to read you this year's Little Read book, Galápagos Girl. Galápagos Girl is a biography, which means that it is a true story of a real person. In this case, it is the story of biologist Valentina Cruz growing up in the Galapagos Islands, where her love of her islands and nature helped to shape her life. I hope you enjoy it. About the Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos Islands lie in the Pacific Ocean about 600 miles off the coast of mainland Ecuador, South America. The 13 major islands and more than 100 small islands and rocks were formed by volcanoes. Only a few of the islands are home to humans. Of the animals that journeyed to the Galapagos from different mainlands, few survived. Those that did evolved in unique ways as they adapted to conditions on their particular island. Thus, many of the island's plants and animals are found nowhere else on Earth. A species that can be found in only one place is called endemic. Many Galapagos animals are endemic, including the Galapagos tortoise, Galapagos marine iguana, Galapagos blue butterfly, and the Floriana mockingbird. A growing population and an active tourist trade, as well as the world's changing climate, have greatly affected these vulnerable islands. Invasive species that have been introduced to the islands, such as goats, rats, and pigs, have also negatively impacted the distinct species that have called the islands home for thousands of years. For example, there are only 350 to 500 Floriana mockingbirds remaining in the world. Still, through the work of scientists and community-based conservation efforts, plants and animals like the Floriana tortoise and the Floriana mockingbird may be restored to their original island homes. Galapagos Girl. Written by Marcia Diane Arnold. Illustrated by Angela Dominguez. Translated by Adriana Dominguez. And published by Children's Book Press, an imprint of Lee and Low Books Incorporated, and recorded with their permission. Valentina was born on an island formed by fire, surrounded by blue-green sea. Sea lions splashed their greetings. Blue-footed boobies danced. Iguanas saluted from a lava bridge. "Welcome, Galapagos Girl," they seemed to say. "Bienvenida Galapagueña," echoed Papa, Mama, and 11 brothers and sisters. On Floriana, one of many Galapagos islands, Valentina spent her days exploring. She scampered over lava rocks with Sally Lightfoot crabs. She swam with manta rays, dolphins, and here on the warm equator, a surprise. Penguins! Valentina watched pink flamingos wading near mangroves, blue butterflies fluttering on the breeze, red and green iguanas sneezing salt like tiny geysers. She listened to waves crashing like cymbals against rocks, albatross trumpeting above steep cliffs, finches trilling piccolo notes. And every day she danced, bopping up and down with lava lizards, stamping her feet with blue-footed boobies, twirling pirouettes with sea lions. One day, as Valentina fed fallen plums to the family's tortoises, Papa told their story. "A friend gave me Carlitos and Isabella when I moved to Floriana. They were so small I could carry one in each pocket. Giant tortoises still live on some Galapagos islands, but on Floriana, pirates and whalers took them all for food. How sad, said Valentina. Many Galapagos animals are in danger, said Papa. Threatened by other animals that don't belong here, threatened by people who don't understand how to care for our islands. I will help to keep them safe, Valentina promised. The time came when Valentina had to leave Floriana to go far away to a new school. But Mama, she protested, I am a Galapagos girl. I belong here with the sea lions and penguins. You are ready to learn about the world beyond, said Mama. Like the sea, you are strong and free. And like our islands, you have a heart full of fire, said Papa. When Valentina sailed away from Floriana, she made a promise to the animals and her islands. I will not forget you, she said, and I will help to keep you safe. On school holidays, Valentina returned to the Galapagos. She camped on remote islands to learn about birds, insects, reptiles, fish, and mammals. She studied in the wild and at school. Valentina became a biologist. She came home to be a nature guide and share her love of the Galapagos with visitors from the world beyond. She taught them to see brilliant colors, listen to the enchanting sounds of the islands, and swim with manta rays, dolphins, and, see, pingüinos. And when the plum trees were heavy with fruit, the visitors watched Carlitos and Isabella return to Valentina's old home, for the tortoises had not forgotten those tasty treats. Because Valentina shared this magical world, when the visitors sailed away, they too made a promise to the animals and islands. We will not forget you, and we will help to keep you safe. Author's note. In 2007, I visited the Galapagos Islands where I met Valentina Cruz. Galapagos Girl was inspired by the stories Valentina shared with me about her childhood. Valentina was born on her family's farm on Floriana in 1971. Her father, Eleazar Cruz Cevallos, was one of only 100 people living on the Galapagos Islands in 1939. Valentina remembers her father as an adventurer with a love of books and nature. From him and her mother Emma, she learned to love the Galapagos. When Eleazar arrived in the Galapagos, Floriana tortoises were already extinct. However, Valentina did grow up with tortoises that had been brought to Floriana from other islands. The tortoise Isabella from the story was from Isabella Island. As of this writing, it is still alive and lives on Floriana under the care of the Galapagos National Park. The tortoise Carlitos was from Santa Cruz Island and died in the 1982-1983 El Niño event. Recently, scientists found tortoises near Wolf Volcano on Isabella Island that carry some of the genes of the Floriana tortoise. A project has been started to bring these tortoises back to Floriana, which will help the ecological restoration of the island. Valentina and her entire family have always been involved in protecting the Galapagos. From a brother who was the first Galapagueño, person from the Galapagos, to head the Galapagos National Park, to a sister who is the director of an agency that helps control invasive species on the islands. When Valentina was only 12 years old, she volunteered at the Charles Darwin Research Station on school holidays. Operated by the Charles Darwin Foundation, the station is located on Santa Cruz Island and does scientific research and environmental education all over the Galapagos. Valentina's volunteer work involved camping on Floriana Island, studying the challenges facing the Galapagos petrel. After high school, Valentina studied with ornithologist Richard Harris Podolsky, Ph.D., on Pinta Island. Through these experiences, she knew she wanted to become a biologist. She studied biology at the University of Havana in Cuba. There she met her future husband, Lázaro Roque Abelo, Ph.D. They returned to the Galapagos, where they collaborated on many projects together, including research on hawk moths and invertebrates. Being a naturalist guide was Valentina's favorite role as a biologist. She enjoyed sharing her knowledge, experience, and respect for the Galapagos animals with visitors. The animals and plants of the Galapagos are unique and fragile. Valentina's and my hope is that after reading this book, you too will say, "We will help to keep them safe." Fun facts about the Galapagos animals you met in this story. Blue-footed boobies are marine birds that really do have blue feet. They are also known for their unusual and comical courtship displays. Pointing their beaks to the sky, they lift their feet one at a time as if they are dancing. Bottlenose dolphins are the most frequently seen of several species of dolphins found in Galapagos waters. They travel in groups, communicate with squeaks and whistles, and find their prey through echolocation. Sometimes they swim with visitors or ride waves in front of boats. They can reach speeds of over 18 miles an hour when swimming. Galapagos blue butterflies are alert and graceful with a fast, fluttering flight. These very small butterflies are well adapted to the tiny flowers on the arid coasts. Galapagos finches are also called Darwin's finches. They were named after the biologist Charles Darwin, who studied them during his visit to the islands in 1835. There are about 13 types of Galapagos finches on the islands. Their beaks are different shapes and sizes depending on what they eat. Galapagos flamingos are long-legged wading birds that live together in salty pools or lagoons. They are filter feeders with rows of horny plates lining their beaks, straining food from the water, feeding on water bugs, plant seeds, and small crustaceans like brine shrimp. They eat only with their heads upside down. Their pink or reddish-orange color comes from the carotenoids in their shrimp diet. On the Galapagos Islands, there are approximately 250 to 500 Galapagos flamingos. Galapagos green turtles are the only turtles that nest in the Galapagos. Unlike tortoises, they can't bring their heads into their shells, and their flippers stay outside their shells too. They are ocean wanderers and can swim thousands of miles. Galapagos marine iguanas are the only modern lizard to forage in the sea. They graze on seaweed in algae beds. Some larger iguanas are great divers, diving up to 82 feet, 25 meters, but most dive 6 to 16 feet, 2 to 5 meters, in shallow water, or just eat in the tide pools. Dives can last up to 45 minutes. Because these reptiles swallow a lot of seawater with their food, they have glands connected to their noses that help them get rid of the salt by sneezing. Galapagos penguins are considered to be some of the rarest penguins in the world. Approximately 1,300 to 1,600 were estimated in the 2017 census. They are one of the smallest species of penguins, standing fewer than 20 inches or 50 centimeters high, and live on the equator farther north than any other penguin. They nest inside caves or crevices of old lava tubes where the temperature is cool enough for their eggs. Galapagos petrels have long wings and take their food from the surface of the ocean. They nest on the ground, which creates a challenge for their survival as rats and other mammals often eat their eggs. Galapagos sea lions are the most abundant marine mammal in the Galapagos. They are commonly seen basking on sandy beaches, but they also enjoy rocky places with tide pools where they keep cool. In the water, they spin like acrobats and can remain underwater for an average of 8 to 20 minutes. Their eyesight and hearing are better underwater. Sea lions are curious and often approach swimmers to play. Galapagos tortoises have lived in the Galapagos for 2 million to 3 million years. They can live to be more than 150 years old and can go for months without eating and drinking. They are also the world's largest tortoises. Today, approximately 4 of the identified 15 original species of Galapagos tortoises are extinct. Depending on where they live and what they eat, tortoises have 3 different types of shells: domed, saddleback, and intermediate. Lava lizards love to bask in the sun on lava rocks. At night, they enter cozy nests made of soil and leaves in the cracks of the rocks. There are about 7 species of lava lizards on the Galapagos. Both male and female lizards do push-ups to defend their territory. The push-up patterns differ from island to island. Manta rays are sometimes called seabirds as their fins move up and down beautifully as they swim. They are filter feeders, feeding on plankton and fish larvae as water passes through their gills. Gentle and curious around humans, the manta rays often swim with divers in the ocean. Sally lightfoot crabs, also known as red rock crabs, dot the windy rocks of the Galapagos, often next to or on top of marine iguanas. They move quickly and are fun to watch. Waved albatross, sometimes called Galapagos albatross, are the largest birds on the Galapagos, weighing 6 to 9 pounds, or 3 to 4 kilograms, and having a wingspan of up to 8 feet, or 2.5 meters. Their breast and side feathers have waved patterns. That's how they got their name. Graceful in flight, they can glide for days over the open ocean, but they are comical on the ground, often stumbling when they land and waddling when they walk. They can live as long as 50 years. To learn more about all the animals and plants on the Galapagos Islands and how you can help keep them safe, visit the Charles Darwin Foundation at darwinfoundation.org.